I know it's been a while. Hello, hello, hello. I got on tonight because I wanted to have a real quick conversation about uh, that whole concept of self love. I know a lot of times it's such an external thing. Everyone's getting their hair and their nails and all this other stuff. But I had a really uh, deep conversation with a dear friend of mine, and she's in ministry. And she's almost starting to become overwhelmed because so many of not just her, her parishioners, but so many people are reaching out because they are just stressed. We are now in the midst of a lot of chaos in the world around us. And people who are normally calm, cool, collected, a lot of people are losing their soup. They are just don't know what to think, don't know what to do, and it is causing a lot of stress. And as easy as it sounds, right now the best thing is to love yourself enough to figure out what could be triggering you. And if it's everything, you're going to have to figure out the things you can control. And a lot of that may mean not spending so much time on the news, not so much time on social media, not so much time around people who are just overwhelmed as you. And at some point, you do get overloaded. And part of self love is loving people from afar. And periodically, if you have to take time, turn your phone off, or put it on do not disturb, put it in another room, whatever you have to do to just calm yourself down. Because at some point in time, a part of this process is you, and I've had to do it for myself, is to find places where I can have my own sense of peace. And I found for me, turning off certain things that I watch has helped a lot. I know that even because so much of what I do is digital, I cannot always control what shows up on my for you page. But as soon as I get an inkling, I'm done with it. And it's not because I'm avoiding it, it's that I don't know I can control my level of stress. I am fortunate that when I do speak to people, I try to keep it as light as possible. And it's interesting because so many of us are going through life. We are dealing with the uncertainty of our employment, not knowing how this political climate is beginning or ending. It is what it is. But I can't control how stressful I'm going to allow it to make me. I'm also in a position where I help those people who are in leadership because literally, who heals the healer? Who helps those people who are in the position of receiving, who do the mental health, who do all kinds of different services that are of service to others? Who helps you when you are overwhelmed? And sometimes just having to be able to talk about it to someone who can receive you, that's huge. But in these days and times, you don't want to get to the space where you're trauma bonding with people, where that's all you talk about. Because even though you may think you're handling it, at some point it is so subtle, but it does have an effect on you. It really does. So I'm just going to ask that. I know the couple videos before I was talking about, moving out of your comfort zone. Well, right now, Keep moving out your comfort zone if it's not serving you. But also, I'm going to ask that you love yourself enough to find your place of peace. At some point every day, in your morning, 5-10 minutes, breathe. Because if you think about it, the first thing that happens when you are traumatized is your breathing is off, which means now your brain is not getting the oxygen it needs. So sometimes if you can just, I don't care if it's in the shower, if it's on the edge of the bed, whatever it is that you do to get your day started, take a few minutes and just breathe. And in that moment, just try to clear your mind out as much as possible. Because even in the midst of the environment around us, there's this thing you're doing, you're still lifing. So I'm just going to ask that you just take a little time to love yourself. Even if you haven't done it, it's a new thing for you to do. Take a little time. Slow down a little bit. Think about the things you can control. Not the people, leave them alone. Think about the things you can control about yourself. I'm also in the process, as a woman of a certain age, to letting my past go. Letting those things that do not serve me. This is a perfect time to get rid of a lot of old baggage. Because right now, the way things are going, we got to pack light. And that of itself, it's like, what do I leave behind and what do I take? That's something to consider in this process as well. Reminding yourself, am I that same person? And look, don't disavow her because she got you here today. But right now, if you got to leave her, bless her and keep it moving. Because that old baggage, it's hiding. It shows up, we get triggered. And if you can voluntarily leave some things behind, that's okay too. And that could be a big part also of comforting yourself, of knowing I'm not her anymore. Or if I am still her, what can I do to bless her and leave her where I found her? She's gone. And it's nothing wrong with that. That's the growth process. That's the part of us that we can leave behind. A lot of habits we bring on and they aren't ours. And if you can say, okay, I learned this because this is what my mom did, or another person did, or this is what I had to do to survive, leaving it behind is not betraying the value of what it brought to you at that time. But a lot of things that we do to move forward in our lives are not the things we had to do to survive our lives. So today, I'm just going to ask that you do love on yourself. Think about the things you can control. Think about the things that it's okay to not do anymore. If it means just not watching the news, if it means not talking to certain people, if it means, and please do not get so obsessed with this that you isolate yourself. Because there's things you can still live your life, but you just have to find that very fine line, where you can kind of take it, but you really want to leave it. Okay? So here I am at the golden time of day. It's been extremely hot. That's why I'm not on the back porch. But I just wanted to help just a little bit with the stress, because it is very stressful. And the not knowing is taking people absolutely out of themselves. And I'm just hoping that today that I've been able to at least offer you a thought or two to give you a measure of comfort to know that mm, people of God, we'll get through this. And it'd be lovely if we could get through it together. So if there's anything that I can do for you, any thoughts on this, if you're willing to share what you're doing to keep yourself together, put it below. I comment. I'm so very grateful to all my new subscribers. Please share. Even probably sometime this week, I'm going to send you, there'll be a whole announcement for me because we are back to podcasting. Yeah, that should be an interesting adventure. So, for those of you, thank you so very much. Um, the calendar is a little open, so if you need a consult, let me know. And above all things, I wish for you great success in all that you do, and keep us in mind. Greer with the Guided Rose.